Hi, so my name is Jordan Pope. I played Patrick in Rose's last session.
So how long have you been with Dr. Richardson?
I don't really see how that's any of your business.
I'm sorry. I'm just curious.
Yeah, curiosity killed the cat.
So did arrogance.
Excuse me?
I'm not just messing with you. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, I've just seen some of his patients come and go.
It's funny, I've been seeing him for almost a month, and I haven't seen you once.
A month? I knew you'd trust me and tell me.
Rose's last session is about this girl named Rose, and she has been through this really traumatic experience that kind of has made her need to go to therapy and kind of talk about these things. But one night, there's this storm that happened.
It's really coming down out there now, huh?
I got a phone call from Patrick. He said that the driveway at the bottom of the hill is completely washed out.
And so she kind of had to spend a night. And so, while she's there, things get more and more unsettling. She doesn't really know what's going on. And the more she's there, she starts to realize things that therapist, which we thought is who is helping her, is actually a part of the cases of these missing girls. And she's kind of going down this rabbit hole of trying to figure things out, trying to make sure she's safe, trying to escape.
Go out there. It doesn't give me any comfort.
It's better to focus on forward than it is to look back on the things we cannot control.
So my first impressions of reading the script, and it's pretty much my first impressions of reading any of the Cody scripts, I'm like, what the heck? That's pretty much what it is. I remember this because I think he sent it to me sometime in the early morning, it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I remember sitting, it was pitch black in my room, just reading it and just going over I'm not sure how many pages, 100 pages. I was there for an hour and a half, just reading this thing and just diving so much into depth about these things. And every time I saw my character Patrick's name pop up, I was like, oh, I was so excited.
If that's okay?
Sure, I can holler for you when they're on their way.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Patrick?
I'm just saying the property's pretty big. I mean, I highly doubt she'll be able to hear you.
But then things started to unravel, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And there's so many twists and turns. There's 30 turns, and sometimes you get lost. But hey, it always finds a way back to,
Sure thing.
The track, and it always connects. I enjoyed it. I love reading it for the first time. I always love reading scripts for the first time because it's you're watching it. It always gives me hype, really excited to get on set and actually start playing this character. And as soon as I read it, I'm like, okay, let me dive into this character and figure out how to make him the best. So it's always fun. The reason I go back to Ottinger Productions is because everything about these sets, the stories, the people on the sets, it's always an amazing experience. A lot of the times we always work with the same people, and so it's basically a nice little reunion. It's hey, it's kind of like a yearly reunion where we make a movie. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. What do you think I'm doing out here? I know that.
So that whole experience of Roses was very interesting. And I think for me personally, because I also had other projects in the same exact weekend of that week. So first, when I learned we were only shooting in 4 days, it was 2 weekends broken up. Seeing how fast we were going to have to make this is very, very scary, but at the same time, kind of exciting. Most of the times, we only got one take, sometimes two. And so we kind of had to make sure okay, make sure this is the one. And so it was kind of stressful, but it was, it's a fun experience to look back on. To hey, we did this in 4 days. That is a big, we got to tip our hats to everybody because we worked overtime. Everyone was exhausted. It was a lot of fun. It was amazing because it fit exactly into my schedule that I needed. I filmed a project in North Carolina. It took a day. No, it took 2 days. And so we wrapped that up. I drove immediately from North Carolina to my house to get my stuff that I needed for Roses, and drove all the way to Huntsville to film this first part of this movie. And so after that second day on set, I had to go to Atlanta. I shot a feature film in a week. And then as soon as I left that, I went back to Huntsville to finish this film. And so that whole experience was very, very stressful, but a lot of fun because, there hasn't been a time where I've acted literally every day for a whole week and a half making a film. It was so cool because I worked basically a week and a half for 3 different films. So fun. and so I got to meet a lot of fun people, a lot of cool people. I have relationships. I'm still, communicating with people to this day, and just like being able to be on a set with people and stressing and just being exhausted with them and just being able to create a film together, you build such a bond that it's not like anything other. It's something completely different, and it's something I really love to do on sets because you just create you just create a bond that you don't really realize with somebody, and like they're just gonna be your lifelong friend forever, basically, because of the the turmoils you went through together, like the stress, the exhaustion, everything.
All right, that is a picture wrap on
Thank you.
Mr. Jordan Pope. Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
I would argue that you wore the sweater best.
I've lost a couple pounds with sweat. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you for joining us on this crazy adventure. We
You're welcome.
appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you for
Until
having me.
next time.
Until next time.
Somebody help me!
I got the sense that something's really wrong.
Don't worry, sweetie. I've got something that'll help you forget all about it.